Yeah, it's a process, but you gotta think right. You gotta think right. You gotta think, what am I trying to accomplish here? If I'm just up there just swinging, you're not thinking right. Hey, let me get in position. Let me stay above the ball. Let me get in my hitting area. Let me put my body in a position to get in my hitting area. And if I stride and my hips are going this way, where my front hips lead me, I can't be short to the ball as possible. I'm going to be a little longer, a little loopier, a little underneath. Okay? Let me take my stride to where my hips stay in that position, nice and cocked. So my shoulders stay in that position, nice and cocked. So you got like a Ted Williams. You ever seen a Ted Williams? He's got that Ted Williams knee cock. I mean, one of the greatest hitters ever, but if you look at his hitting position, he's here. He's right here. His shoulders are in the hitting area, his knees inside, and he's going boom, right here, and then it's whack, right? You don't see good hitters doing this. You don't see it. They don't exist.
So it's one of the things that I can tell these guys, keep your shoulders level, hands up, but that's not right.
Yeah, you want to be more in your hitting area. Because that way you're forcing the pitcher to have to throw the ball here. When your shoulders are level, you're committing to the ball while it's still out there. But when the ball, you have to hit it here. This is where you do damage, right here. But if my shoulders are level here, I don't really see the zone the same way. If my shoulders are here, now I really see that area, and now I can commit to it. I can stride and keep my angles. See how my hips are angled? I can keep my hips angled this way and go wham! Versus if my hips are this way, I can't torque my hips the same way. So now this angle creates me more to have to be underneath and more towards right field. Instead of this angle being more on top, bang, and opens up the whole field.
Coach, these guys talk a lot about loading.
Yep.
You're loading all the time. You're talking about timing.
Yep.
They're talking about loading.
Okay?
Different.
Yep. See this post right here? If I create a load to where I go backwards, over time I probably am not going to hit as the pitch gets better. Nothing in hitting goes backwards. Okay? So what you see in guys is when they go to load, they load into their legs. They load down and then go forward. So they load and down. They don't load backwards. Barry Bonds, everybody thinks he loads backwards. He doesn't. He goes and he sits into his legs, and then he strides and hits. He doesn't go, okay? That type of load creates being late and leaky and underneath. So when I see guys load that way, don't throw them breaking balls. You help them. Throw them fastballs because they go, oh, the ball's on me. It's an easy out, okay? So what we talk about is sit to hit. You sit to hit. So think about it if you were going to step on a scale. That's my scale. If I'm going to step on that scale, how do I increase my weight? I sit. I sit. And I call it a sit to hit. And that's what you see. You see a shoulder, a hip, a knee, and a foot. Stacked. So Ryan Zimmerman for us goes, see it? He sits, but then he strides out. He has that leg lift. So it's a stacked position that he sits and then attacks. But he doesn't go. He doesn't do that. So, I mean, it's one of those things where if I was working with guys, I'd just say, once you stand up and you're nice and relaxed, as you go to get ready, sit into your legs. Not bend over. No, chest up. Sit into your legs, pick up and hit. Sit into your leg, boom, because that's the athletic position, right there. So if I'm going to guard your basketball, right? If I'm going to jump, I'm going to go, boom, to go up, right? So to be your most explosive, if you already are a little bit up, you got to get into your knees a little bit where they crack, and then it's sit, stride, hit. Sit, stride, hit. Does that make sense?
But no added